Welcome everybody to the CovrPrice Top 10 show for the week ending 7/16. You might notice someone missing. Laura had to do a family emergency thing today, so she asked me to jump in. But we are fortunate to have, of course, Gabe and Chris here with us today. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Happy to pinch hit and sub for Queen Laura. Sorry that we're missing her on today's show.
Yeah, welcome to the Sausage Fest, everybody. We're going to be doing manly stuff today, like ice fishing and making our own jackets out of cow meat or whatever men do. I don't know. Whatever. We're nerds. Sports ball, smoking meat, climbing Mount Everest.
All the good stuff. So while we are congregating, let's listen to the song.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you.
As Gabe said, it's the man show today, basically, in the man caves.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, put in your max bench press amount, and let's see what's up.
I'm not going to put mine in.
Bro, do you even lift?
Yeah, who does creatine, man? Yeah.
Just even when I was lifting, I was never. I always blamed it on like being tall and having like bad physics, but I'm probably just very weak. I don't know.
I think you're just making stuff up. I'm very tall too, and I can still put up 245.
Okay, see, now I feel bad. All right, I'm going to get up there and then we'll have a bench press contest. But welcome again, everyone, to the Top 10 CovrPrice show. This week, we have a pretty cool list driven on a lot of movie spec and all the noise happening out in the marketplaces, as you guys will probably see as we go through it. Remember, this list is completely generated by CovrPrice's aggregated? No, aggregated. That's the word. Aggregated data from actual sales that we pull in from a lot of different marketplaces and auction houses. So it's completely non-biased. Just this is the data. This is what's selling. And we love putting it together for this show. So I kind of did the little intro before, but Chris, do you have anything to say before we kick it off?
You know, if you guys could do me a favor, and we have to make the YouTube algorithm happy, I want you to go in there and grab onto that bell icon as if you were the old dragon biting down on the young dragon and dropping it over the Rook Town, and like and subscribe.
What about you, Gabe?
Just shout out to John for joining us tonight. CovrPrice crew in general, as always, for getting all the aggregate information for us, right? So this is always a fun list because this is based on no hype. This is just strictly what sales are going on. This is based on real data, and we just kind of go off of that. And there's still some really fun, interesting stuff on here that we're going to get into for sure.
Oh yeah. Also, just to let everybody know, so we're doing, of course, you guys know, 3 shows a week. We do the Top 10 Tuesdays. We do the Shaker Show Thursdays. Comics Covered on Friday. So we're going to also be at San Diego Comic-Con. We're doing a panel on Saturday at 5 p.m. The panel is all about, it's time for a new name for the modern age. We need to break up the modern age and come up with, golden, silver, platinum. What should we call it? And so we're going to do a whole panel on that.
Variant age, easy, done, over. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's done. Yeah, that panel is no more. Sorry.
Retail exclusive age. That's what it is.
Well, shit.
I think we've gone through at least 2 ages since the quote unquote modern age.
Yeah.
I think we missed one age. I think we're in another age. So I think there's a lot to talk about and discuss from what's the modern age considered right now? Like 1980, 85? 86, something like that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's right. It's around Watchmen, Dark Knight. I think is what starts that new age.
The grittier books.
And then I always say about 2000. I said on the show before, 2000 is with Authority because it's always a DC book. It's always a DC book that starts and kind of continues that new age. So with Authority, I think that's the start of that because that changed comics with the way things were written. I'm getting on a tangent here, but it was written. That's when comics started getting written in a more decompressed storytelling style because of Warren Ellis and Authority, and with Brian Hitch on Authority, that gave us that cinematic kind of like landscape panel layout that definitely changed the way comics were being written and drawn, look, feel, and the industry of comics. I think really made a turn with Authority #1, with again gritty realness. Street level kind of storylines that started happening around then, and it became a lot more about the writers than it did the artists too. At that point.
Not to rabbit hole down a tangent because I definitely want to get to our list, but you brought up a really interesting topic.
Boom!
You look at the formats of the comics, right, and that's generally what we prescribe the ages as. You have the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and then. Copper and modern are generally the same size, but that's usually what those ages are tied to. Modern is always going to be like right now. So we have to go back and retroactively name those ages that were previously modern. And I recommend for the 90s that we call it the pockets and belts age because it was just full of Rob Liefeld and Stephen Platt pockets and belts. And no feet from Rob Liefeld and big feet from Joe Madureira. Pockets and belts age.
No, I love it. It's funny because there's so many different ways and kind of slice and dice it. I was just looking at some of the things. So modern age is from 1992 to present, right?
Okay.
And all the other ages, are following like a kind of a metal, copper, gold, gold. So people were mentioning platinum, nickel age. But I think variant age, pockets and belts age, all those things. We're going to do a survey and send it out to our members, and we got like about 90,000 people in there, going around. So hopefully we get a good enough sample size to be able to say like this is what the community wants. Yeah. But it'll be interesting. We'll see. Anyway,
there's plenty of metal elements that we can use for the ages, the aluminum age, the titanium age. There's lots of options.
I kind of want to go like vibranium and like adamantium ages, but
chromium age.
Chromium age.
It's not always metal too, like because before Golden Age, before the 1940 or the 1930s, it was the Victorian age of comics. You got like Yellow Boy and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
The image, image age. So yeah, definitely a tangent. I'm just trying to get some interest in the stuff that we're going to be talking about. Also, whenever you guys see any of these lists, head over to CovrPrice, and that's where we're getting all the data from. We have a ton of lists. We have a new update actually coming, I think tomorrow or later this week. You're going to be able to go into a series. Imagine this. You're looking up Action Comics, whatever, and you wonder to yourself, there's about 400 comics in here. How many are in here with all their variants? Of all this entire series, what's the most expensive comic in that entire series? We're about to drop that this week, and you'll be able to filter that. You'll be able to add everything to your collection in a second. Like, it's going to be a massive thing. So we're going to really promote that on Friday and kind of walk everybody through it. Anyway.
John, last Thursday, I kind of went through some of the features of CovrPrice because I had the pleasure of showing my collection. And one of the things that I forgot that I absolutely love that you guys include is the ability to create virtual boxes within your collection. Yeah. So I have a virtual box of nothing but yo-yo covers because that's one of the key things that I collect as Dr. Yo-Yo. So to be able just to filter by my virtual boxes, and then I have other boxes for these ones are in the garage, so I know where they're at in case I need to go grab them.
What is it about yo-yos? What's your thing?
I'm Dr. Yo-Yo. I'm the yo-yo guy. If you or any of the viewers go to my YouTube channel, you'll see old yo-yo videos of me. I used to be very big in the industry. I was on the National Yo-Yo Board and ran California State Championship for 5 years. And
wow, I didn't know we had a celebrity on that.
Yeah, I know.
Professionally back before I joined the service. So yeah, Dr. Yo-Yo is a name that was given to me back in the 90s. Speaking of the 90s, and it's just kind of it's stuck.
Dr. Yo-Yo age.
Yeah, the Dr. Yo-Yo age.
There you go. Well, that's cool. If anybody has any yo-yos to want to get them autographed, send them in. We'll take care of that for you.
Yeah.
And then those Dunkin' Yo-Yos, everybody, and watch Chris walk the dog and around the world. And
I would want to see that. I think we should do a whole show to that because that would be. Do you still got it? Do you still got the skills?
Yeah, I could do that. I'll tell you what. After the list, if we have any time, I'll show you guys a few tricks.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
Laura's missing out.
Yeah. See, she's gonna be jealous. She's gonna watch this and be like, I wanted to be a part of this yo-yo talk. So, all right, guys. So let's jump into the list. So runners up. So it's no coincidence that the Deadpool facsimile is released so close to the Deadpool and Wolverine debut. This facsimile is Deadpool's first solo series, and the original cover received a reprint along with a foil edition. However, the 1 in 25 variant cover is the only book that makes it on top of our list this week. It's a great Deadpool cover by Benjamin Sue. It immortalizes the mercenary as an unstoppable force. Deadpool may be riddled with arrows, but he shows no sign of slowing down. This hot cover variant released last week, and we tracked 19 comics sold with a 7-day growth trend of 38% and a high sale for $50 for a near mint copy, and a current near mint raw is going for about $35. So this is pretty cool, pretty fun cover, I think. I noticed that if you look at the blood trailing from his sword, you see dead poo.
Nice. This is a cool cover. I've never seen this before. I love it.
I'm curious as to what exactly it is that is glinting in his eye.
Ooh, maybe it's Cable under his mask. Maybe it's a fake out.
Or it could be Strife too.
Maybe it's Strife.
Do it.
All right, that's number 10. And then we'll kick it over to Chris. That's the runners up. Number 10, we'll kick it over to Chris.
Yeah, so first on our list for this top 10. Now, before you go, I got this. I want you to make sure that you notice that this is the Virgin cover. This is Doom number 1, Sanford Green variant, second print Virgin, a 1 of 25 ratio from Marvel in 2024. While the first print version of this book was going like gangbusters, it appears that Marvel took notes. And when they greenlit a second print, this cover was universally praised, and somehow they improved it. Releasing a Virgin ratio variant as a second print is a bold strategy, but it has been paying off in the aftermarkets, as is the sell indications. We've tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 16%, with a high sale of $80 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw fair market value at $61.
This 1 in 25 second print variant thing is always so crazy to me because you can just get the regular book for like this kind of price, I would think.
It's such a gorgeous cover. I really have to. I mean, I have a couple of these. I've sold a couple of them. I definitely need to pick up the Virgin as well.
Yeah, it's a great cover because it's a timeline almost of like some key moments of Doctor Doom's history. Like when he was in Secret Wars, when him and Doctor Strange teamed up to go to hell to save his mom, the birth of Valeria, the Fantastic Four, God Doom. I mean, I love this cover, and it not having the title treatment is cool. I kind of just want this as like a screensaver for my phone.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Exactly.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I wonder what I didn't recognize all the art behind it, but you just broke it down. I love it.
Sorry for nerding out on that cover.
No, I love it. What's the outside ring with the like the circle and the cityscape kind of thing?
I think that's more or less. Well, is that Reed Richards' machine that goes into the Council of Reeds? That I know. This is all part of like Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run. Yeah, or maybe it's just something to do with this book itself, because this book itself is this crazy all-out war with Galactus and Doctor Doom, and other kinds of like cool upgrades that Dr. Doom gets in his book. If you guys haven't read this yet, you're missing out. It's like the coolest. It's like a double-sized book. It's like 60 pages, something like that, and it's nothing but like action and crazy adventure stuff in here.
I think in a previous story, Doom stole Kang's time portal, and so maybe that's what it is.
Well, that's a good crossover from getting rid of Kang and bringing in Doom. Crossover for you. That's cool. I don't know too much about Doom, if I'm being honest. I know that he's got like Iron Man powers, Reed Richards intelligence, and like, Sorcerer Supreme magic all mixed into one kind of character, right? And
That's basically it. Yeah. I mean, he's a dictator of his own nation. He has diplomatic immunity, so he can come into any country and do whatever he wants. Doom's got just like, there's a reason why people say Doom is like the best Marvel villain, because he works on all levels. He works street level, he works cosmically, he works magic, he works like he runs the spectrum of everything in comics.
And he has a giant belt. If you go back to that cover, you can see that belt is so big that he has to have 2 straps go around for that belt buckle.
The guy used to do rodeo or something. That is a belt.
That's a big old Texas belt there for you.
That's right.
He keeps like a little, I don't know, flask in there or something. There's a purpose to that. Maybe. All right, let's move on to number 9. And this is to you, Gabe.
Yeah, let's do this. Captain America, number 25, is number 9. Back in 2014, the mantle of Captain America is a big deal. It's a heavy burden, and Captain is often who the people and fellow heroes turn to for leadership in times of crisis. When the time comes for the mantle to be passed on, it was a huge, huge deal. Well, in this issue, it was revealed Sam Wilson would take up the mantle of Captain America. He served well during his time as Captain in comics, and the fan base is preparing themselves for Sam to do the same thing on the big screen. While we got Sam in the Stars and Stripes attire back in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he had just stepped into the role. This film is going to mark the first time that he'll actually be portrayed as Captain America. Of course, the first time he appears as the character is seeing some heat now that a trailer has finally dropped, showing off Sam kicking Keister and taking some names. So with that said, we've tracked 17 copies sold and a 7-day growth of 21%. High sell is $85 for a CGC 9.8, and current near mint fair market value for raw copies is sitting at $15.
Yeah, that was a cool comic. And not to mention, like, I'd love kind of how they're doing that whole, like, I liked Sam as Captain America. He looks badass, Yeah. I like how they did it with the Winter Soldier TV show, whatever, like Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and
it's great because for a while we were wondering who's going to take the mantle after Infinity War or Endgame, right? Like, is it going to be Sam? Is he going to follow the comics, or Bucky takes it first? So now it's been Sam for a while, but now we're going to see him in that trailer was kick ass. So it is exciting, and you can see why that book is selling right now. And not bad, $85 for a 9.8. Like, dude, like you're missing out on that.
This book puts me on the board so far this week because they do have this one, and I really liked the miniseries that came out. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. I just love the fact that Sam is able to do all these things that Cap can do. He doesn't have the super soldier serum. He's just badass, and that's awesome.
And that is super cool because you're just like, he doesn't have any of those powers. It's just a guy, just a soldier out there with the cool tech, but like when he did that thing where he flies, he uses the wing to do like a double lit kick in the air kind of stuff. You're like, all right. He's Cap.
He's got it.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Did you guys, of course, saw the trailer?
Of course.
Yeah. It looked really, it looks badass.
That trailer is going to come into factor in a couple different spots on this list today.
Yeah, like I said, all of this is super driven. As you can see, you got Doom so far. We got Sam as Cap. We got the Deadpool stuff. But who will be number 1? What could it be?
Ooh, stay tuned, everybody. You don't want to miss out.
Speaking of Deadpool, so when Deadpool and Wolverine was first announced, this book really was on fire. It maintained the heat for some time before cooling dramatically, but now that we're in the final stretch before the release, it's starting to heat up again. So this book marks the first direct meeting and battle between two title characters. And if the marketing is any indication, we're in for some serious battle in less than 2 weeks. I'm actually super, super excited about this movie. And I found this book in the long boxes at my local comic shop. I found both of the direct and the newsstand, and I was like, yes, clink, clink, clink. So the fan base is returning to the beginning before we see the inevitable end on the big screen. We tracked 34 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 33%, with a high sale of $410 for a CGC 9.8 and a current near mint raw fair market value at $55. So not too bad. Still within range, but look at that gap right there. That's pretty cool.
This is just one of those books that just kind of came out of nowhere, where it's like, oh, now we got to find the first appearance or the first meeting of Deadpool and Wolverine. And this book, if anybody has it, if you look it up and you read it, the art in it is crazy. Just the idea that a lot of it is straight up just copies and swipes and possible just trace over Jim Lee X-Men #1 pages. It is very interesting when you look at it.
No, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's stuff in there where it's like, who was it? Copycat is jumping around and she's holding her. She's just standing there for no reason, like in this pose, and exactly from Wildcats #1 of Zealot. It's a really fun comparison to go through it.
Who's the internal artist, Gabe?
I forget. It's not Adam Kubert. He did the cover, but he didn't do the inside art. I'm not positive.
That is crazy. And that, I mean, literally, that I think that scene right there is in the trailer where he's picking him up over his head, right? With at least it's alluded to. So yeah, that's why this one's definitely caught the eye of a lot of speculators out there.
I don't watch trailers very often, so I don't know if that's in there or not. But
so,
cool.
Do you not watch it because you want to be surprised, or are you just like just too busy to watch trailers?
No, I just want to be surprised. I just want to. I try to stay away. It's hard to stay away off of like these little spoilers. Like, oh, this character is in it. This character. I'm like, come on, man. Just let me just experience the movie. Like, I want to see. Like, let me find out who's in the movie and all the little kind of secrets and stuff like that. I'll watch the first trailer when it comes out, and then after that, it's just radio silence for me. Like, I don't care. I never look at like on-set photos or like leaked, paparazzi shots. I don't care. I want to see the movie and judge it off of that. So I don't get to see a lot of this stuff until I'm there. And I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm prepared for this. Because when you watch it and you know what's going on, you're kind of like, I can't wait to see that part where Wolverine is getting stabbed or whatever, right?
I'm on the exact opposite end of the spectrum.
Oh, man.
I dig into rumors. I find out as much news as I can if I'm excited about a movie. I really get in there, and it doesn't, for me, it doesn't take away from enjoying the experience.
What about everybody listening? Are you guys trailer watchers or trailer avoiders? Put it in the comments here. I'm right in the middle. We're literally on all the spectrum because I watch up to a point, and then I'm like, okay, enough. And I think the biggest, well, not the biggest, but one of the fights Matt and I ever got into was he knows everything about everything comics, and we'd go to see a movie, and he'd be like, "Oh, watch, this guy's gonna pop up." I'm like, "Shut up! I don't." And one time, I think we got the drive home from a movie was just like silence and angry. It was because I told him to shut up, and he was like, "I'm telling you stuff you should know." I'm like, "I know." So
apparently it was Adam Kubert and Fabio Laguna that did the interior arts in there. So I'm pretty sure it's those Fabio pages that were just kind of swiped from Wolverine or from Wildcats. But very cool. Shout out to Rudy in the chat for that fact checking live.
Yes, thank you guys. It's awesome to have like a group of people who know what they're talking about and just like it's the internet via human brains basically happening here.
So I do think, according to Utaku's question, I think this book will drop after the movie.
Probably. We'll probably see a bit of a leveling off. Yeah. Because this is supposed to be Hugh Jackman's last reprisal of Wolverine, right?
Until they fill up a swimming pool with cash again, because that's what he said.
Just back
Pretty
that.
sure he did when he did Wolverine.
Yeah.
Just back up the truck of cash, pour it in.
Yeah. He just put that big pile of money next to his Tony, and he'll be fine.
Next to his Tony. His claws are next to his Tony. I think it's going to drop too. I think the trend that we typically see is that upon announcement, actors casting, we see the spike. That's when you start seeing all that speculation buzz going. Right before it, you start seeing the peak, and then it'll start dropping. But you can always go to CovrPrice and track it.
If you have a lower grade copy, sell it now, and then when it settles and goes down in price, buy a higher grade than you had.
There you go.
Boom.
Words of wisdom.
It's never a bad time to buy a comic.
Or sell.
All right, Chris, let's go into number 7.
For number 7, we have X-Force #1 by Marvel in 1991. Now, see, this is exactly what I was talking about with the belts and pockets era.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Cable's right arm. He has a bandolera of ammo there. You have pockets where you don't need pockets on the girl in the pink in the back, who I can't remember the name of because she's so
boom boom.
Oh, boom boom. But yeah, X-Force has been pretty hot lately thanks to Cable's appearance in X-Men 97 and the new Deadpool movie about to drop. And now for an all-new reason, thanks to Captain America, the New World Order trailer, the internet is in full-on sleuth mode. The reason is Giancarlo Esposito. I did not get that right. She was spotted in the trailer doing some damage, but who knows who? Oh, sorry, he is doing some damage, but who knows who the heck he's playing? Yeah, it even came out and teased. No one has guessed the role yet, which is quite intriguing. The internet sleuths have been working overtime and appear to be zeroing in on him playing a version of GW Bridge, who first appears in this book. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to know for sure, but the aftermarket is not waiting to find out. We tracked 32 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 61% and a high sale of $50 for a 9.6 copy and a current near mint raw dog fair market value at $7.
Herb Ervling.
Yeah, go ahead.
Herb Ervling. Bert Herngreif. Irv Herblinger. Bing. Live hanger. Live link.
We'll probably have a bunch of those, don't worry.
Demonetized. Okay. $7 to get in for a near mint, that's a low risk. Everybody should have a copy of this anyway. I mean, if you don't have a copy of this, what are you doing? Go out, go to CovrPrice. There's direct links to eBay and to my comic shop. You can click on that and it'll take you somewhere where you can go buy one of these. You need one of these in your collection. So go do it. $7, low risk, do it now.
I like that you called out the bandolero, or what do you call it? The bandolero?
The bandolier?
Bandolier, yeah. Like you don't get to use that word too often nowadays.
Straps, pockets, shoulder pads, just way more things than is needed. Thank you, Rob Liefeld.
It's very SWAT team. I'll stand up for Rob Liefeld. It's very SWAT team.
I'm just surprised it didn't make it into like modern fashion. Like we should all be wearing bandoliers and pockets. I mean, it's just utility, man.
Well,
I mean, you see those guys with those strap bags, right? Like those Supreme, it's close enough. Okay. Fanny packs are coming back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cargo pants were a thing for a while.
But yeah, it's I mean, that's a low risk, and someday I'll have to share my Rob Liefeld story because he and I crossed paths back in the 90s, and he's an interesting dude. I'll just leave it at that for now. But Liefeld fashion icon. As long as you don't need your feet, Lord of Brooklyn, I agree.
His podcast is the best, though. I love his podcast. That's for sure.
He's a mercurial person and like awesome at times and like really mean at times. Yeah. He loved us at one point, then hated us when we didn't like put his stuff on our top 10, and we're like, but it's data driven. We had this conversation with you. Nice guy, nice enough guy, but he really got mad at us for when like McFarlane stuff outpaced him on cover, and we're just like, but that's how it's data.
You know,
he's still stuck in that Wizard era with the top 10 was just
right.
kind of created by the people writing the articles or whatever. But,
I guess he did the same thing to the editors at Whatnot because Liefeld's stream didn't do as well as McFarlane's stream, and so he was very upset about that.
I mean, it's just like I don't know, but he's a very nice guy when he wants to be, very mean when he wants to be as well. But fair enough, it's his right, and his he's entitled to it. All right, what are we on? We're on number 6, right?
6.
All right, and Gabe, this is you.
This is me. Barbaric number 1. Nathan Gooden. This is the regular cover from Vault Comics. It's been a while since I've seen Vault show up on the list.
Yeah.
2021. Some may look at the title and think, what? I just picked up Barbaric number 1 a month and some change ago? Well, you're close. The recent Barbaric fun focuses on Owen as a child, a barbarian cursed to wander the lands, doing good with his enchanted battle axe in this series. A little confusing, but look at the recent run as a prequel. Why that's important is that it's recently announced that A&E Television has greenlit a Barbaric series with Sam Clifton and Patrick Stewart in lead roles. And check it out, Michael Bay potentially attached. So for those who have read the comic and know of Patrick Stewart, the mind games begin immediately on just how hilarious that could be. But whenever there's news of a series getting optioned, it typically sees a boost on the aftermarket. We've tracked 20 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 147%, a high sell of $45 for a CGC 9.6, and current near mint raw fair market value is at $17. I mean, $45 for a CGC 9.6, that's barely like the grading cost at that point.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to read the title. I'm going to read it Barbarica.
Barbaric. I don't know much about this one, but I'm looking at the comments and everyone's like saying the talking axe is where it's at and it's a fun read. And have you guys read this at all?
No.
I think my favorite comic here is it looks like Akuma from Street Fighter without the man bun.
Nice. Yeah.
I never got into Vault Comics. Like that's a whole line. That's a whole publisher I've never touched before.
Yeah. I don't know much about it, but that is a cool looking axe, and it sounds like it talks, and it looks like it's drinking blood. What could go wrong?
What more can you want?
Anything else to say about this one?
I think that says it all. Let's see what happens to that. Let's see what happens to that option. Hopefully it gets made. That'd be great.
Yeah, always good to see comic stuff across all media. All right, we're halfway done with the list. This is number 5. Number 5, something you guys are probably all familiar with, the New Mutants number 98, Rob Liefeld. This is just a regular edition. So as of this writing, there's about 11 days until Deadpool and Wolverine drop. So to say people aren't excited would be hyperbole. Momentum has continued to build for months, and a lot of it's riding on the film. The marketing has Deadpool everywhere, and it's paid off. Some may have felt the urge was too strong to ignore and had to add a copy of the first appearance of Deadpool to their personal collections. We tracked 39 copies sold and a 7-day growth trend of about 11%, with a high sale of $2,200 for a CGC 9.8 and a current near mint raw for about $295. Boom, Deadpool. I have one question for you guys, and I think Gabe might know the answer to this because he knows everything about everything. Gideon, what did he do? What was he about?
He was a person that was called. He was a part of a group called the Eternals, that were like immortal mutants. And throughout this issue and other issues, especially within the X-Force, he was trying to recruit Cannonball, because Cannonball's an immortal. So he's trying to recruit Cannonball into this cabal, secret society, Illuminati type group of immortal mutants.
Interesting.
And he had a really cool green ponytail, which I wish I can grow, but I don't have hair.
That's the dream, man. That's the dream.
Yeah. All those pockets, though. Don
Look at all that feet, though. Look at all those feet. There's feet and feet and feet, and really long shins. But that's what
long
it is.
shins, long feet. It doesn't. I think Gideon under the robes has nothing but pockets and bandoliers and whatnot.
I would agree with that. Yeah. And
Well, how come that fashion didn't come in style? How come we're not walking around in robes?
Dude,
all the
that's
way down
what I
our
wear
belly.
at home. Just silk kimonos every day.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
I
like
wear
a
it.
wizard.
It's way too hot in Maryland for me to be wearing a silk kimono.
Chris, then you just open it up, man. You just open it up, get the breeze.
You just kind of
That's not
flap
good.
it a little bit, you know, like
That's not good for anybody.
Just standing on your balcony having coffee. Yeah. That's how you
I
do
think
it.
that this is one of those books that just keeps on trucking, right? And this is I can't predict what's going to happen after this movie with Deadpool, because Deadpool has become, I'm not going to say he's anywhere near the popularity of Wolverine, but I think he's getting pretty damn close. Like, he's pretty much a household name these days. So I don't know if his popularity will continue to drive this book up after this movie has been released. There's so many copies of this book out there. You know, I think somewhere around like 700,000 copies is sold, maybe a little bit more. So much of it's CGC graded. You know, it's in the 90s, or everybody was kind of hoarding like long boxes of the same issue and things like that. This is going to be interesting to see what happens with this book that we could track on CovrPrice.com on what happens after the movie. With this one, it's going to be really interesting because I have no idea what's going to happen here.
I think that this is going to be one of those evergreen books. Ryan Reynolds has turned Deadpool into a staple character. He's part of the zeitgeist now. It's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think it'll be an interesting case study to see, like, what happens when a super popular hero, you know, in and out, the movies kind of do their thing. Will they keep making them? Probably. Well, I mean, he might be the unifier of all Marvel phase, whatever. You know, he might be the one who's, you know, putting it all together. And I mean, then he's kind of like a keystone of this new era. So,
well, he is Marvel genius, Jesus, apparently.
That's right. That's right.
And it's the only Marvel movie coming out this year, and it's supposed to make like crazy tons of money. The promotion on this, the Deadpool movie promotion team has always been off the hook. Like, they've always done like
Absolutely.
the best promotions. You got like popcorn buckets and like straw holders, and like everything is going on with this book.
Popcorn buckets. Oh my god.
I would have made it dirtier. They should have just came to me, and I would have just made it totally NC-17. You know.
Yeah, and Jonathan makes a good point. Like, bringing that kind of humor and that kind of slapstick and fourth wall breaking into Disney was a stretch, you know, because it's a rated R movie. It's going to fit into MCU somehow. Like, it's interesting to see how they're kind of tying it together. And this movie really is that linchpin, you know, in a lot of ways. So
yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much good stuff for Deadpool out there. I mean, they have the original movies, which has a cult following already, even though that they're very popular. You have the variants of the original movies, like the one where he kidnaps Fred Savage and redoes the Princess Bride intro. I mean, what is not to like? He references the Ferris Bueller in the after credits on the first one.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun, and it's not going away.
yeah, totally agree. It's been a while since I've been excited to see a movie. You know what I mean? Like, to go to the theater and want to see it. So I really hope this one pays off. I think it will.
Yeah.
All right, we got Chris at number 4.
Before I read this one, Cultster34, Walt is not rolling in his grave. His body is frozen. Okay, Hulk number 2 for Marvel in 2008. This is our 4th entry. While I have you, I'm going to remind you guys to go to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. It's very effective to manipulate the algorithm. So please get in on that. Tell all your comic book friends down at your local comic book store that the Cover Price shows are where to go and where to hang out. For this top 10 item, we have Hulk number 2, Marvel 2008. While issue number 1 from this run receives the majority of attention due to it featuring the Red Hulk front and center on the cover, he doesn't actually appear in the story, which means that this book should be considered his first appearance, as it is his first appearance in a Marvel story, as opposed to just a cover shot. It also features a dynamic cover, which encapsulates the fear characters felt when Red Hulk started popping off. While it says issue 2 on the cover, it often works as with issue 1 as a 1A, 1B situation. The recent trailer featuring the shot of Red Hulk, aka Thunderbolt Ross, fans have been hot on the trail of the associated key books, including this one. We tracked 30 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 19%, with a high sale of $125 for a CGC 9.8 Karate Chop copy and a current near mint raw fair market value at $37. I remember when the Red Hulk story came along and the big mystery about who the Red Hulk was. It just seemed to drag on and on and on. And then you had the Red She-Hulk, and who was that? And you had all these different colored Hulks, and it was right around the same time where Green Lantern was doing all the different rings. And it was too confusing for me. So I enjoy the character, Hulk smash was always a good thing. But all the different versions of the Hulk, I'd be fine if they just stuck with the personas of Bruce Banner, personally.
He's the real Hulk. Everybody else is just a derivative kind of thing. Then they had, like you said, other Hulks. Like they had even like A-Bomb. Like Rick Jones was a Hulk for a little bit. He was A-Bomb in here and all that kind of stuff going on. There was even a series called Hulked Out Heroes where everybody got Hulk powers.
Yes.
So
there's a cartoon. I think I happened upon it, and I was like, in the cartoon, it was like Hulk family, basically. And it was like everyone was a Hulk. And then the Hulk was the Hulk. And it was like, I forget, it must have been on Disney or something, but it's like a Hulk kids kind of TV show. But like everyone was, like all the major Hulks were there. And I was like, wow, I don't know half of these characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Hulk in the what was it called? The Smash team, or Hulk team in the Smash? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I agree, Chris. Like Hulk, I forget what run it was, but they didn't show the Hulk. They showed Bruce Banner. They alluded to the Hulk as like this monster, and you never saw it. And there's like for issues and issues, you just saw like a glimpse of the Hulk, an arm, a leg. I forget which one it was, but it's just, I loved it when he was like this menacing, scary creature kind of thing, And it's like, you don't want the Hulk to come out, and now it's like, hey, I'm going to sit down and have breakfast with you guys.
My favorite Hulk stories are the ones that internalize the personas of the Hulk, all the various personas of the Hulk inside of Banner's head. There was a, I want to say Ed McGuinness run that had introduced the Devil Hulk, and it had Joe Fixit and the Smart Hulk and the Savage Hulk all kind of talking to each other inside of Banner's head. That it was great. It was fantastic. Those are the best Hulk stories in my mind. And not so much when you have all these different kinds of Hulk out there. Immortal Hulk series was also excellent. If you haven't read the Immortal Hulk series, definitely go do that.
When I brought it back to like the old school original idea of Hulk, of it being kind of more like a horror kind of theme.
Yeah.
Back in the early issues of Hulk, like Kirby and Stan just didn't know what to do. Like his powers changed like every issue and stuff like that. There's another great run that I love. It's the Bruce Jones run called Return of the Monster, where it was barely any Hulk. And maybe someone that John was talking about, but it's just Banner basically hitchhiking across the country, running away from like the government and from people looking after him. And he had like a laptop where he was Mr. Green. And he was talking.
That was it.
And he was talking to somebody else, that Mr. Blue, that was kind of like, hey, they're finding out who you are. You need to leave and go this way and that kind of stuff. So I think that's the one that John was talking about. That's a great run right there.
It reminds me of remember that movie Split, where he has all the different personalities, and there was the M. Night Shyamalan, and he leaves himself like messages as different persons, and that's how they kind of communicate to each other. And so, like, I thought that was really clever, just like having it all in one person, and then telling a full story with it.
Yeah, I want to see Mr. Fix-It. I want to see like. Man, we're really missing out that we haven't gotten Doc Samson yet, but Hulk is an untapped market, I think, right now for movies.
Yeah, I agree. And I know that there's a lot of licensing issues going on with Universal right now when it comes to the Hulk, but if anybody is out there watching, trying to figure out what Hulk comics to buy, there's a couple key issues that I would look at. I would look at 324. It's undervalued. That's the return of Joe Fixit. I would the Hulk series kind of started off at number 102, and that's not a very expensive book, but I would definitely hit that up. And I would for sure target the first appearance of Maestro, because you know that is going to be a major arc down the road. It has to be. So pick up that Future Imperfect number 1 and number 2 because those are coming. World War Hulk is going to be great, but I think as far as first appearances go, the Maestro is going to be the one to get.
Yeah, that is an awesome version of the Hulk for sure. All right, let's move on to number 3, Gabe.
Number 3, look, we got Doom number 1 again, but this is the original printing, first print. Occasionally, we see books that just have that it factor, and this book is one of them. Despite not being the launch of a major event, no real first appearances, it's still dominating the charts. That's what happens when you get solid writing, fantastic art, and some cool references coming together to form a book like this. It's been hot since it's dropped and hasn't cooled down since. With the second print Virgin variant right around the corner, many collectors opt to secure a copy of this book to slab on the wall right next to it. We've tracked 26 copies sold, 7-day trend of 20%, high sell of $132 for a CGC 9.8, and current near mint raw for the fair market value is $35. It's cool to see that this book, like the first print, is still just kicking along. It's organic. There's no first appearances. There's no movies. There's no TV shows. Just all around, just solid comic book here.
I kind of like it more than the Virgin. Like, I like the trade dress kind of over the top crumbling into it and all that. Like, I think that kind of adds to it, to be honest. It looks like Chris. I don't know if you're saying something, but yeah, I thought you were muted for a second. Never mind.
No, I just wanted to keep my mic quiet for Gabe. I still think this is an amazing cover. I want to see it in foil. Somebody asked. I got to hit up Laura to see if she can get a Bird City exclusive of this in foil, because this would just pop so much.
Yeah, that would be cool. Imagine like the different rings, different foil. That'd be really
different foil treatments on the rings.
Yeah, love it. All right, that brings us to number 2. We're almost close to number 1. Can anyone guess what number 1's going to be? Number 2, though, is Fantastic Four number 94. This came out back in 1970. So WandaVision debuted about 3 years ago, and it laid the groundwork for Agatha Christie, not the novelist, Agatha Harkins, who first appeared in this book, to take a spotlight in future series. That was the plan. Well, plans typically never go according to plan. And after numerous reshoots, title changes, etc., we finally got a trailer for the Agatha series promised to the community years ago. The first trailer dropped last week and is full of wacky, off-the-wall shenanigans. But there is a deeper connection for which many fans will be tuning in. This book also features the first mention of Franklin Richards, the son of Reed and Sue Richards of the Fantastic Four. Agatha played babysitter to the young fella, and fans feel like we're watching the connections to a future Marvel project sprout in real time. Only time will tell, but until then, fans are taking another look at Agatha's first appearance. We tracked 13 copies sold, 7-day growth trend of 47% with a high sale of $204 for a CGC 8.5 and a current very fine raw fair market value of $65.
This book is undervalued.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll say this. Everything Fantastic Four is undervalued. Fantastic Four, everybody knows I love the X-Men. Fantastic Four is my book. Yeah. Everything Fantastic Four is undervalued. There's no reason number 1 isn't up there in the reaches of pricing along the lines of like AF-15 or Hulk number 1. Like everything, there's so many great things in this series of Fantastic Four. First appearances changes in the Marvel Universe, the start of the Marvel Universe, everything in Fantastic Four, completely overlooked, and we probably just got a few more, maybe about a year before this stuff starts to explode.
Yeah, especially with, one of the reasons why the Fantastic Four books haven't exploded already is because the movies have not been great. But I mean, that's going to be changing real soon. We saw some bump in Fantastic Four books when the last Doctor Strange movie came out because it had Reed Richards in it. But we're going to, when they come into the main 616 Marvel Universe for the MCU, they're going to explode. All of the key moments are going to explode. The first appearance of Doom is going to be hot. Obviously, first appearance of the Team. We're even seeing bumps for first appearance of Herbie. Is already starting to go up quite a bit because Herbie was an Easter egg that was in the media scrum. But first appearance of Agatha Harkness. This series looks great, and WandaVision was fantastic. There's no reason why Agatha, who is a great anti-villain, there's no reason why she can't carry your series. And this book is going to this show that's coming up is going to lean heavy into all of those tropes that we all love, like SVU and all the other TV show tropes that are so common. We're going to get that continuation, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. My only question is, speaking of WandaVision, when are we going to see White Vision? Where'd he go? What's he doing?
That's another book that's just kind of fallen off the charts that I think, it's a good pickup if you want to make a little bit of a get that before that explodes again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hopefully they tie it all together.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I believe we are at the number one. You guys have made it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to watch the shows later this week on Thursday and Friday. Don't forget to go to the San Diego Comic-Con and come to our panel. I always joke, if you tackle Matt, don't tackle Matt. If you tap Matt on the back and scare him in some way, you're going to get a hat or a shirt. I shouldn't throw that out into the world, like tackle Matt and get a shirt, because then we got a lawsuit happening.
Oh, poor Matt.
Matt's a big guy, though. He could probably take most people. He's a really big guy.
Yeah, but a surprise tackle will twist anybody's knee.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We're getting up there, so yeah. But all right, moving on to number one. Chris, this is you. You ready?
All right. What is it, guys? Drum roll. Hulk number one. Of course it is. This is the one we were talking about when on my last read. This is the number one of the series, and surprise, surprise, it's the number one this week. Wait, no, it's not a surprise. After years of waiting, the fan base finally got a trailer for Captain America, The Brave New World, and it did not disappoint. Action, espionage, civil strife. The trailer had it all. And 1 second clip at the very end, you see the long-awaited Red Hulk. And immediately scoured the internet searching for a copy of his first appearance, and up to this point, the community had no solid confirmation that he would appear. We still don't know the scale, if he's a hero or a foe. Much can be inferred, but we know he's coming, and he does sound angry. We tracked 73 copies sold. That's a lot of copies sold compared to the rest of our list, which you usually see like between 10 and 20 copies sold. 73 copies sold. So clearly the number one selling book of the week. 7-day trend at growth at 28% with a high sale of $246 for a CGC 9.8 and a current near mint raw dog at $96. If you have this book, sell it. Sell this book, because you will be able to pick it up at half the price in 6 months.
And also the idea of Red Hulk, this is like the worst kept secret.
Yes.
Of all time. Like this is, I know he's like, there was really no solid confirmation, but it was there. Like there was enough where it's, hey, you're bringing him back. Oh, you're recasting him as somebody else. Yeah. Oh, look, he's got ripped pants. Like, it's the whole thing where you knew this is coming. Here's your confirmation. If you didn't get it before, now you're paying that kind of behind the ball kind of extra tax to get it now.
You're not going to put Harrison Ford in a secondary role. He's going to be one of the primary characters. And, and if Thunderbolt Ross is a primary character, you're going to have the Red Hulk.
Yeah, primary color.
There you go.
It would be cool to see him in red. I got to see it on the big screen. And I know for number 4, they were saying that these are kind of bookends, right? You see, they're kind of referencing each other a little bit.
And it's really interesting that number 2 is it's going to be that community kind of debate. That issue number 2 is obviously the first appearance because he's not even in number 1.
Right.
Other than the cover, does the cover really count as the first appearance? If they're not in the book, like it's a whole kind of like complicated menagerie of things.
Yeah, 100%. And that we've seen this Red Hulk like go across the top 10 over the years. You know, it's been doing its so it's kind of cool to finally see it coming to life and happening. So yay, top 10, number 1. That was cool. That was fun. Yeah.
We made it.
Good listen.
Yeah. Sorry, I overspoke everybody. Sorry. I just keep going, yeah. All right. Well, Chris, why don't you say a little goodbye to everybody, and then we'll go over to Gabe.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And if you guys want to hang out for 5 more minutes, we can play the allergies or something, and I'll bust a few tricks on the yo-yo. Happy to be here subbing anytime that there's a hole in the panel. I'm more than happy to come in and stand in. You guys can reach me at Dr. Yo-Yo on Instagram. There's a link tree in my bio. It's got links to everything else, my eBay store, a place where I make shirts, stuff like that. You can check it out, and you can also find my old YouTube videos with me yo-yoing on there.
100%, we want to see you yo-yo. I'm gonna remove you so you can go get ready, and then do this, and I'll put you back in.
I already got it. I got it right here.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, come on. You know he has a yo-yo on him at all times.
Yeah. And so, Gabe, I'll let you say goodbye as well, and then we'll go back to Dr. Yo-Yo for a little yo-yoing.
All right, everybody, thanks again for showing up. Lots of great information in the chat. Everybody coming together. You know, collect what you love what you collect. Now let's see some yo-yo happening.
Boom! I'm gonna find.
Forget about me. Let's talk about some yo-yos.
I'm gonna find the best music to go with this. Here we go.
Let's see that butterfly yo-yo do its thing.
So okay, look, these are modern yo. Okay, these are traditional yo-yos, right? Wood yo-yo, fixed axle, right? This is a modern yo-yo. It's aircraft aluminum and has a ball bearing in it. All right, here we go. Give us some music, John. There you go. Here's a quick little demo.
What? Mind blown. That was cool. That was really cool. You could be a superhero. You could fight crime with that.
Oh, it would be a terrible weapon.
You can just impress them as they're doing crime. They'd be like, "What's going on? Oh, that's awesome."
I would be bedazzled. I'd just be like, "What's happening?" And then boom, yo-yo.
Well, 10,000 hours at anything, you'll be good at it, right? At least adequate. But the kids who are doing it professionally these days, man, they are out of the park. I don't even hold a candle to those guys.
Next level. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's cool. Next time we get Chris on, we're going to just keep having him do yo-yo stuff, and that's how we're going to end our show.
Yeah, let me know in advance next time. I won't wear these nasty gym shorts.
No, that looked great. That looked great. All
yeah,
right.
you wear your silk robe next
my silk kimono. That's right.
Yeah. Just cinch it. Just
Which
cinch it.
one? Because I have so many.
Next week, Laura will be back. Thanks for putting up with me this week, everyone. And again, hopefully you come to the rest of the shows. We give a good giveaway on Friday.
Captain America.
Captain
Or
America.
Clinton, whatever your choice is.
All right, everybody. As Tim would say.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.